So in my recent video, I looked at the German school system and how that compares to the school system in the USA and UK, and just explaining it in a bit more detail, how it's structured, the benefits, the pros and cons. Really enjoyed that video, and for me overall, I really like the German school system. I think it's very different to what I'm used to in the UK, but I can see a lot of benefits with it. And what I thought would be good is I also have been watching some people talking about their life experiences in Germany and found those videos quite interesting. So this one kind of combines both. This is a girl talking about her German high school culture shock. It's from an American exchange student's perspective. So it'd be good to see what this exchange student thinks of the German school system, and yeah, let's watch this and see how she found it.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caroline, and today I'm going to be comparing German and American high school. So I've been in my German school for about 2 weeks now, and this is just kind of what I've noticed, like the big differences.
So only 2 weeks?
And I just wrote them down, so if you see me looking down, that's why.
So she's very new to German school.
Okay, so my first German school culture shock is that everyone dresses really nice. I have barely seen any German teenagers wear athleisure, leggings and stuff. Basically everyone wears jeans and nice tops too. Everyone looks very put together. Another thing that I find kind of funny is the guys usually wear tighter jeans, skinny jeans, and the girls wear the baggier mom jeans. Another big difference is that they don't have AC in the school, so you have to open windows. So at least at my school, my gymnasium, there's 2 people that sit by windows that open, and every time you go in that class, you have to open the window. A really big difference. So
yeah, that was just 2 quick ones. So with regards to the dress, so is that correct? It sounds a bit more casual than the UK. Is it normal for school kids to just wear jeans and normal clothes? In the UK, we have to actually wear proper black trousers, a white shirt, a school tie, have to be quite well dressed, and that's just the public schools, never mind the private schools, who I think have to wear blazers and a bit more smartly dressed. So it sounds like Germany's quite similar to the US in the fact they both wear a bit more casual. And yeah, I guess AC, I've watched that in other videos, it's just not very common in Europe in general, never mind Germany, because we just don't have that same warm weather as the majority of the weather.
In German schools is that class, you have to open the window. A really big difference in German schools is that you don't switch classrooms. For example, back in my high school in the US, if I had biology, I would go to the biology room where the biology teacher was.
That's the same in the UK,
If I had
actually.
math, I would go to the math room. But here in Germany, you have a designated classroom that you stay in with the same people, and then the teachers are the ones that switch. So when I have math class, I'm with the math teacher, and then the math teacher leaves and the English teacher will come in. Another big difference. That's
very interesting as well. As I said, in the UK we have to go between the different departments and go to different classes. But I think that's also to do with the school system in the UK, where your class is different for each subject. So you could be the top class for maths, the bottom for English. So just switching the teacher wouldn't work, because all the children have to go to different level, different classes. In Germany, maybe it's different, where everybody's just at the same level for every subject. Does that make sense?
And this one I really like. There's very frequent breaks in German high school. So the classes are 45 minutes long, but sometimes there's double sessions, at least in my school. So if I have 2 math classes in a row, we do those, and then we have a 5 to 10 minute break, and then we have a longer 30-minute lunch break or something like that. But basically there's breaks after every class, so you can talk and eat and just hang out outside and have a break from wearing your mask. In my American high school, we only had 1 break, and that was lunchtime. The only other breaks we had were switching between classes, and those are only 4 minutes long, so you basically have time to go to the bathroom and go to your class. So I really like the breaks at my gymnasium.
I think that's actually a good thing because it gives you time to just take your mind off study for like a short period of time, and yeah, you don't have to just be like one class after the other, and it can be a bit more overwhelming possibly. I think in the UK, again, it's probably more similar to the US for that, where the only time you get between classes is when you travel to the other department and things like that. But I guess that's still good as well, that you get to talk to your friends and have that time to actually let your mind rest for a couple of minutes. But you also get 2 15-minute breaks in the morning and afternoon also, as well as the lunch break, I think, is like 1 hour.
Another big difference is that there's no cafeteria. So in my American high school, the school day was like 7 hours long, and then you would have a lunch break in the middle of the day, like 30 to 45 minutes, and you would eat and catch up on schoolwork if you had to. And there's like a designated room for that. Like, you go to the cafeteria, you buy your food, or if you brought lunch, you eat your packed food. So that's what my American high school was like. But in my German gymnasium, there is no cafeteria, there's no designated eating place. Usually during the breaks, people just snack on like a protein bar or apples or something like that, and they just stand and talk with their friends while they eat. And specifically at my gymnasium, there's like a little food stand, and you can buy some typical German, I guess, like baked goods there. So there's like a Dumpfnudel, I don't know how to say it right, pretzels, and then there's some candy bars too. So you can buy food, but there's no designated lunch area.
Is that correct? What about lunchtime? What do people do? I'm sure they can't just snack on these little bread snacks and things like that. Is there no cafeteria, no restaurant or anything like that in German schools? Maybe it's just different in her school. In the UK, we have like a cafeteria, and it's quite big and has like different selections of food every day. That's one thing I think that people always, in the UK, they always talk about, is the quality of school food. They say sometimes it's not the best, not the healthiest. It's like fries, burgers, hot dogs, pizza, different things like that. I think it may be getting better these days and a bit more healthy, but surely there's got to be somewhere. Does everybody just bring their own lunch in Germany and eat their own packed lunch, or how would it even work? Like, if you don't have that, like where would you eat? Outside the school, something like that?
A really major difference between my American and German high school is the time. So like I said earlier, in my American high school, I woke up at like 6 to go to school, and then I would be there for 7 hours. And in my German gymnasium, it's not like that. Let me go grab my schedule real quick, and that will explain it better. Okay, so this is my schedule.
Let's see this. So start at 8:05. All the way till 5 in the afternoon, or maybe that's just actually extra classes there. It looks like it's maybe, what is SPA? Okay, maybe Spanish or something. But so it looks like most of the days between 8 and 2, whereas in the UK, yeah, that's probably similar. It's like between 9 and 3, so that actually makes sense. Actually here 8 and 1, so actually not too long, but a lot of double classes. Does that look like a normal German schedule to you, or was yours very different from that?
So as you can see, every day is different. The classes I take are different, how long I'm in each class, the time of day I get out of school. So for example, on Monday, my classes start at 8:05 and end at 15:15, which is 3:15 for my American viewers. So that day is like a typical 7-hour school day, but on like Tuesday, my classes start at 8:05 but end at 13:15, which is 1:15. So it's a much shorter
early
school
finish,
day.
actually.
I hope that explained it decently, but in the US, every day is the same, and then at half of the year, the classes change. So for example, in the US, I would have biology, Spanish, calculus, and social studies. And those would be my only 4 classes for the whole first part of the year. And then at halfway through the year, it would change to something different. But every day is the same, every day is the same length. So overall, it's a really big difference between the US and Germany. Another rule that I was kind of shocked by that's pretty different, in Germany, there's very strict phone usage rules in school. Like, you're not even supposed to have your phone out on lunch break. Like, you're not supposed to have it out on school grounds basically at all. Most people take their phones to the breaks, but if you have them or you get caught with them in the classroom, like they get taken away. In comparison to the US, that's really different because in the US, normally some teachers would let us have our phones on the table. As long as we weren't like calling someone or texting someone while the teacher was speaking, it wasn't really that big of a deal. But here it's a lot more strict.
I think that's fair enough, especially if you're in the classroom. There's probably no real need to have your phone there. I guess it would cause distraction for some kids who go to school, but yeah, outside of that, if it's like lunchtime and things, I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be allowed your phone. For that, yeah, I think it's probably similar in the UK. You're just not allowed to have it on your desk, or I think it's probably more similar to the German style actually.
My last difference, I haven't seen that much of at my school, but at other gymnasiums, like other people in the program have told me, smoking is really common among teenagers here in Germany, and not like smoking vapes, like smoking cigarettes. And it's so common that teachers and students will be smoking cigarettes like right outside the school grounds, which is like completely unheard of in the US. Normally people will like vape in the bathrooms, which obviously isn't allowed, but people do that. And then overall, no one really smokes cigarettes in the US, especially not younger people. I think it's pretty unfortunate that it's so common here because it's obviously not good for you, but it's definitely a big difference and it's been interesting to see. Oh, I also have one more difference that I just thought of. So language classes are much different here than they are in the US. So I took like 3 years of Spanish in high school and I only learned really basic vocabulary and phrases. Here in Germany, like in your first year of taking a language, Spanish for example, you're already forming sentences. The books for the class are all in Spanish. The teachers strictly speak in whatever language they're teaching, which I think is a much more effective way to learn because it's basically by immersion, because you're forced to learn faster so you can understand what the teacher is saying. And it's definitely a lot more effective because students here are bilingual, trilingual. Most Germans here speak multiple languages. So I think learning languages is definitely something the US can do better. Okay, I think that's all I have for today.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. Again, like all the other videos I've watched, especially because this is related to the German school system, which I've been learning about recently. Yeah, kind of some of those is similar in the UK, some are similar to the US and similar to Germany. But for me, again, there's nothing that really stands out as being over the top there. It all seems very sensible. Things like the dress, the only thing was the smoking. You know, like I think I mentioned that in a previous video where it's talking more about like adult smoking in Germany and how it's still quite popular. For it to be popular with a lot of kids at school, it's quite surprising that it starts so early. In the UK, you get like kids here and there who smoke and they'll go for a cigarette, but it's not very common. How is that in Germany? Is it a problem that so many children smoke? Is it very common? And tell me what you think about all of those points, and yeah, what you think about her experience in German school. Is it similar? Do you find that these are similarities of what you had when you were at school? What do you think about these? Thanks.